Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be releasing the Forum Thread Manager. Originally, it was intended only for the Sword Art Online team members. However, there's a use for it for everybody, so I figured I'd just publicly release it. Although I don't really see a use for it except for the team members, because only we have to create threads with a bunch of nested spoilers. But feel free to use it if you want to. So, first thing is, I know most of us already have a whole bunch of blogs out there. So if you want to load in one from an existing thread, you can do that. I've created a converting algorithm, so I'm just going to copy this guy. So this is my, what is it? My corner, so all my work in progress. So it's, as you can see, it's pretty messy, and it was getting a bit much for editing within the edit post function of the form, so I figured I would create this. Now, if you want, you can leave it like this. It should be fine. However, sometimes there are bugs in the algorithm where it converts from here to the node view. So just to make it clean, you just hit the auto format button, and it'll format it the way it should be. Alright, and then we can hit start edit when we're ready. Alright, so here's the main UI. Off to the right, you can see that I've coded in a really simple web browser that automatically loads up to the forum. Here's runtime HTML, so that's what we loaded in. Here's the editing toolbox, and here's our node view. So what's really cool about the node view is that we can edit it at runtime by hiding things we don't want to see, so it makes for a much cleaner and easier editing. We've got tools for expanding and collapsing everything. You'll notice down at the bottom right here, my undie stack is starting to get larger. Now this is not something where it's you're undoing a task. I created a snapshot function, so every time this is updated, it saves a snapshot of everything on the form. So it saves this, saves this, saves this, saves everything, and then it'll reload it. So if I go back to startup, let's actually here. Okay, I just added a whole bunch of spaces. If I reload it from a snapshot, it goes away. And what's cool about it is it doesn't undo, it just restores, so you can go back to any of these previous snapshots. Alright, and then a new snapshot is created automatically anytime you edit anything, and there's an unlimited amount of snapshots as long as, you know, you have the RAM to do it, except it's not a lot of data. You should be able to store quite a few before it gets to be a problem. Alrighty, so next with these two buttons here, if you do any changes in here, which I don't really recommend you doing, you can always rebuild the node view. And when you're done editing, so let's say I want to add in a whole bunch of blank spaces at the bottom here, rebuild the HTML, and here we go. Okay, let me just go back to here. So now let me start explaining these buttons. Okay, so like rename selected node, what that does, pretty self-explanatory. Every time you select a node, it updates in here, so you don't have to start from scratch. And you can type in whatever you want and rename it. Okay. Add new parent node. That just adds a new root to the bottom of the thread. So let's say I don't know. Hi guys. It'll add that to the bottom. Add node under selection. What this does is I am a nest. Okay, what that does is create a nest underneath the selected root, and then places a node there. And then I'm a nested nest, so you can have up to a depth of one nest, or I guess two nests of spoilers. Anything more than that's a bit much. I mean, I'm pretty active, and I'll create a new spoiler like every week, and I've only used 2 for organization. It's pretty organized anyways. So that's that. As you can see, if you try and do more, it'll say a depth of only 1 nested spoiler is allowed. Delete selected node. Now you have to be careful with this guy, because if you delete a parent node, it'll delete all of its children as well. which is why we have the snapshot system. Okay, and it has data, so it like saves the name of the nodes you messed with, so you can kind of tell what you edited. Move selected node up or down, pretty obvious. Okay, unnest selected node, so that's if I want to bring this guy underneath 2014, but not to the surface. However, if I want to bring it to the surface, I can just hit surface, and I'll bring it up all the way. Now, this isn't a very, it's very clean, however, it's not very fast. So in order to create a fast UI, let me just restore. There's a drag and drop system. So move is pretty self-explanatory. Just drag and it moves. And then parent does that. Okay? And obviously you can't parent yourself. You can't parent yourself to a node you're already a parent of, so that's why you can't do that. Other than that, that's about it. So post any bugs on the thread here if you guys have any problems, and that'll be it. So when you guys are ready to like finish, you rebuild the HTML, copy this guy, and then you can go straight in here and update your thread.